Story 1, shoes. I will have those things tailored to my feet, and I will walk the most comfortably out of everyone I know and don't know. Good shoes help your back as well, so comfy feet and less back pain. Story 2. A distant, tranquil place in the countryside that you can go whenever you want, or a cruising sailboat that's no bigger than like 16 meters, a cutter ideally that can take you somewhere that is. Story 3. I grew up very poor and have gotten steadily richer, with a household income around $550,000 and about to take a job that will bring us up to $750,000 per year. Things that made me happier: living within walking distance to work, outsourcing laundry, getting a maid, cooking less, taking a cab instead of using mass transit, choosing economy plus instead of economy on planes, staying at least a 4-star resort when traveling, spending money on dinner, drinks, and travels with friends. Once I had a kid, getting a night nurse for the first few months was life-saving, best money I've ever spent. Having a nanny instead of daycare made my life easier. Paying for childcare occasionally on Friday or Saturday nights so we can still have dates and see friends. Living in a safe neighborhood surrounded by other successful people. A gym membership at a nice gym. Things that don't make me happier. Expensive clothing, although I buy quality things and tailor. Expensive watches. Expensive electronics. A big house. Going to expensive nightclubs. Artwork. Expensive furniture. By experiences, either things that make your life easier or are fun. Material things don't really contribute to happiness. Story 4. The best luxury when you are rich is paying others to do things because it is simply not worth your time to do them. If you can make $500 or more per hour, it is a waste of your time to do something mundane around the house when you can pay someone else $30 to $50 per hour. Rich people can always make more money, but time is the most finite resource. Story 5. Not having to worry about money is the most important thing in the world. Money problems cause most divorces, and they cause you to make decisions that you regret for the rest of your life. Story 6. Privilege. No matter what happens, you will never have to suffer the anxiety that comes with having to budget. Regardless of whatever trauma you experience, you can always afford therapy, rehabilitation, and so on. Story 7. Personal chef. I don't want to decide what to eat for every meal and then spend 3 hours cooking it for 10 minutes of eating. I don't even care if I have to do the washing up. Story 8. Cleaning and kitchen staff. I want my house to be like a hotel room. I step out and come back, and everything is clean and made up. And anytime I want, I can have anything cooked to order. Actually, maybe I just go live in a hotel. That was Nabokov's dream, to live in a hotel. And when he had the money, that was what he and his wife did. Story 9. High-quality mattress, pillows, and blackout blinds. You are supposed to spend around 1/3 of your life sleeping. Might as well make it the highest quality sleep you can. Story 10. As someone who has made a lot of money, I have bathrooms that are essentially at-home spas. Massive rain showers, beautiful, massive standalone bathtubs, baskets full of towels and goodies, and one of those massive sinks that looks kind of like a sculpture. Oh, and a separate room for the expensive Japanese toilet. This isn't a joke. I swear to God, the bathroom is my happy place. Story 11. A gym inside my home. I would want free weights, benches, a power cage or squat rack, barbells, yoga mats, a cable machine, and some cardio equipment. Basically everything I would need without requiring me to leave the house. If I could take it a step further, I would have a steam room, a closet full of workout clothes, nice towels, and a super nice bathroom. Story 12. A driver. Uber is cool, but I'd love to have an always-on-call murdered-out Escalade driven by a friend, and I never had to worry about parking, washing the car, flat tires, etc. Story 13. At a certain point, the differences in quality between the $2,000 turntable setup I have, which I know sounds like a lot, but it's well within the range of what still gets called a budget setup in audiophile circles, and one that's thousands and thousands of dollars isn't huge, but it's still a difference. Story 14. Flying first class or private. Space. Noise. Waiting for a lavatory. Smells. Sick strangers. Driver. Riding a train or subway, I had a lot of time to read, work, listen to music, or nap. Driving 2 to 3 hours in traffic now is a huge time suck. Story 15. A brand new car. Depreciation hit be damned. It must be awesome to have a car and know that it will always work and that no one else has tampered with it. Story 16. First class travel. I have been lucky enough to go business class twice in my life, and it transforms traveling from a chore into a mini holiday before you get to your destination. Story 17. Everything related to freeing up my own time with tasks like chores and errands. Pay well, provide housing separate from the main house with its own driveway and yard space, and offer the best benefits. If all chaos breaks loose, they will have equal access to the fallout shelter, which I'll obviously invest in, as it's currently fashionable. With my loyal and highly skilled staff, I'll have a house for different types of housekeepers. Metalworker, carpenter, mechanic, electrician, farmer. Not only will I be able to do my own projects with my new, awesome, paid neighbors, but I'll also get to continue enjoying my passion for figuring things out that are slightly beyond my reach. I'll have the most incentivized friends. Hopefully, and if World War III ever occurs, I'll have a community that is loyal to each other and capable of utilizing each other's strengths where they are weak. We will survive and thrive, perhaps even rebuild on the surface one day. Housekeeping, personal chefs, and aides would be so worthwhile. Story 18. Some form of chef or nutritionist. An accountant. Pool and hot tub. Influence. A huge open property for the sole purpose of letting my dogs run wild. Work-life balance. A legitimate security system. Story 19. A fully equipped mansion that runs on solar and wind with a state-of-the-art security system and a delivery driver that brings all the stock resupply once a week. And, of course, a full suite of housekeeping, and lastly, a robot dog and helicopter. Story 20. Being rich would make it possible to get good health care, which is a luxury I can't afford, and decent groceries instead of the pre-packed, overproduced, engineered food from Walmart. Story 21. Actual artwork on my walls, like the kind you loan to a museum for a special exhibit and have it labeled as from a private collection. Yeah, that's my Magritte, but you wouldn't know it. Story 22. Flying private. I've had the absolute pleasure of doing so a couple of times. A company I worked for chartered a jet to take several of us cross-country. No security line, and the plane waits for you to be ready. One of the people that needed to come with us was stuck in traffic. We ordered a pizza and had it delivered to the plane on the tarmac. If you can afford it, it is absolutely the way to travel. Story 23. I work as an orthopedic surgeon. I've been to his house, a big house, and from seeing it, I would say my luxury would be my living room furniture not touching a wall. Story 24. A few years ago, I was looking at mattresses and tried one that was comfortable beyond all reasonable understanding. Clouds wished they could be compared to this mattress. If I remember correctly, a twin alone cost $4,000. So yeah, that purchase did not happen. Sometimes, though, I like to dream about winning a little money that would allow me to pay off all my debt with enough money left over for that glorious mattress. Story 25. Landscapers. I would not mind mowing my lawn, but when you travel for a month or more at a time, it is not practical. Get a good landscaper and let them handle all that stuff. Story 26. Gutting my house and getting it remodeled to my exact desires and specifications. I really do like the home I'm in now, but it was built in 1969 and was pretty much all original when we bought it. I used some of the profits from selling my last house to completely redo the flooring, which has been a godsend, but there's still so much more that needs updating. My dream would be to have enough money to pay a respectable contractor to completely modernize the whole house all in one swoop. Story 27. A personal fitness and meal planner. But at the same time, if I were hypothetically rich, I would have the time again to plan it all myself. I'm super tall, so maybe business class on an airplane. Story 28. Having your own private jet and dedicated pilots, preferably one that can go over 10 hours nonstop, is ideal if you travel a lot or have a family with young children or elderly relatives. You can fly without discomfort and save significant time. The saying goes that you can't buy time, but flying privately really allows you to do so. The cabin is secure and private, enabling you to conduct business openly. You avoid losing time at airports waiting to board, going through security, and dealing with delays. The plane never leaves without you, so you can extend or shorten your stay as needed. It can land at much smaller airports than a commercial jet, bringing you closer to your destination, which alone can save you hours. Add in visiting multiple cities in one day, and it's like a time machine. Story 29, Travel. I used to travel a lot for work all over the world and go to fancy hotels, restaurants, and tourist locations, and all of it was covered. It's been a decade since I switched careers, but I miss it. Story 30. I would like to have my own airplane or at least access to fly privately on demand. I like the idea of just making a call and going wherever I want for the weekend. Story 31. It is either the ability to have a cleaner on call, the ability to build a home to fit my physical restrictions, or the ability to get items and systems that could help with said physical restrictions. Story 32. I'd say a personal chef would be worth it. Having someone who can prepare healthy, delicious meals tailored to my tastes would save time and make it easier to maintain a balanced diet. Story 33. A general personal assistant valet. The kind of person I can send a message to and say, take care of this. And they take care of it. Making reservations, doing shopping for trivial items, paying people who need to be paid, just taking care of all the petty administrative duties that come with being a person in modern society. Story 34. 41-foot Apache race boat with a pair of 1,000 horsepower big blocks. Specifically, Alice Veit. I would bring her back home to Michigan. Story 35. Buying high-quality but expensive goods. There are companies that make shoes that will allow you to send them back and get them made new again for less than the cost of a cheap pair of shoes. The kicker, though, is that you're looking at $300 a pair for the initial investment. There are lots of products with similar systems. Jaguar used to offer repairs for life on their cars. Story 36. Private jet, private cook, house manager, landscapers, maids, personal trainer, massage therapist, accountant, wealth management, second homes, and so on. Story 37. Contractors. When there is a problem with the house or a project I want done, it would be so nice to just call up a highly rated contractor to do it without worrying about the price and it getting done right. I have cheaped out on some of that work before and it was a pain to deal with. Story 38. Personal chef, chauffeur, and personal assistant. I literally spend so much time out of my day scheduling things, texting, calling, running errands, then still have to eat and commute, obviously. Would free up so much time every day. Story 39. Staff, personal assistant, a chef, a cleaning lady. I can drive myself and I would love to get a private pilot's license and fly myself around. But menial tasks I'd rather pawn off. Story 40. I grew up extremely poor and am rich as an adult. Here's what I think is worth it. Expensive sheets made of Giza cotton, organic, restaurant-quality meat, homegrown vegetables, a luxury because they take space and time, home cleaner, mid-range luxury clothes, business class flights, regular cleaning of air conditioning systems, skincare, water filtering and dispensing. Story 41. A personal shopper. I hate going to any store, navigating through crowds, and getting frustrated while loud music plays. It's very overstimulating, and I immediately want to go home. Story 42. Basically anything that would free up a good chunk of my time. A private chef, a chauffeur, a maid, and so on. It's not that I'm lazy, but I can spend more time doing the things I like to do. Particularly about the chef, I love cooking, so I feel I would learn a lot of good tips too. Story 43. On a serious note, a custom-built house allows you to indulge in activities that were hard to do before, like having a movie room, a virtual reality room, an arcade game collection, a fighter jet hands-on throttle and stick setup, or any other hobbies you couldn't pursue due to a lack of money, space, or time. And if you don't have friends to enjoy these with, the hookers can also come in handy. Story 44. Housemaid, landscaping care. Continuous care of lawns, trees, leaves, gardens, and deep house cleaning gets quite taxing physically. Having a team of people to do it really saves time and energy. Story 45. As someone who loves tattoos, spending money on a skilled artist who works in a high-end shop is important. If I am going to have something on my body forever, I will spend a lot of money to make sure it is beautifully and skillfully made. Story 46. Personal aircraft. No security checks. No wasting 2 to 3 hours per flight at an airport in line. No being crammed into a cabin, sharing air with 200 to 400 others. Story 47. Having a pre-furnished and ready home in a place you visit often so that you don't have to think about what to pack. If the Rolls-Royce Phantom is as comfortable as it's said to be, I can't say as I've never been in one, then that as well. Your own swimming pool where I live, that's a luxury. Story 48. A live-in chef. I would enjoy having delicious, nutritious meals prepared for me, as I do not enjoy anything about food preparation but would like to eat healthier. Story 49. Most luxuries are expensive because they are amazing products or services, so it's easier to tell which ones wouldn't be worth it. Maybe expensive brands would be an instant pass, as you are just spending significantly more money for not a substantial return. Story 50. High-quality food. Not necessarily fancy food, but organic and homemade as much as possible, preferably imported from Europe or Canada, where they do not allow additives known to be toxic. Story 51. Owning a few acres of land so that each of my siblings or my husband's siblings can build a house on the property with a small ranch filled with horses and cows. A way we can visit each other is by a golf cart. I just love having family near, and it could possibly become a business with cattle or horses.